טוב, שלום וברכה. I thought that we would talk today about Shofar.
Throughout the long broken crying sound.
כשאנחנו אומרים בתפילה, כתוב בתורה, יום תרועה יהיה לכם.
לא חושב ש...
מה הם כותבים? מה הם מתרגמים? יום תרועה יהיה לכם.
איפה הפסוק?
זה דברים, ספר דברים, ויקרא זה זיכרון תרועה.
אז במדבר כ"ח, איפה?
כן, נכון, במדבר כ"ט. וואו, הרב מנחם, ככה אתה פסוקים, בום בום בום, בום 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 בום, כ"ט ככה? וואו, מדהים, מדהים, מדהים. יאו.
יום תרועה, איפה זה כבר? Shofar sounding.
אוקיי.
Sound.
אוקיי, טוב. אז שלום וברכה. Today we will talk about Shofar, the meaning of Shofar. And you probably understand already that everything that we have in Judaism, it has its meaning. It's not just tradition or something that we ceremony or we do all kind of things. Why? Because they did 1,000 years ago. Or no. In Judaism, everything, each detail of in our heritage, there is meaning, deep and very spiritual meaning. And we'll try to understand today what's the meaning of Shofar. You probably learn a lot about Shofar, Rosh Hashanah, and then, but today we'll try to understand the meaning. Of course, we never know until the end, the like a last meaning, the depth meaning, because it's always there is more and more levels, dimensions of understanding of everything, especially in things that's connected to Torah, to Judaism. But a little bit, but we will try to look deep and to understand what's the meaning. So we'll start from statement. We know that this day in Torah, Rosh Hashanah in Torah, doesn't call Rosh Hashanah. It's never written that it's no place that it's written in Torah that it's Rosh Hashanah. This day, first of Tishrei, calls different names, but not Rosh Hashanah, and also not Day of Judgment or some other things. How it calls in Torah? It calls shofar sound. How?
Yom HaZikaron.
Yom HaZikaron, we say it in Tefillah. In Tefillah we say Yom HaZikaron, but Zikaron of what? The day of memory. But memory of what? Some historical event, some spiritual things? No. Zichron Truah. It's written in Vayikra and B'midbar, Zichron Truah. Not just memory. It's memory of shofar blowing, sound of shofar. And it's strange because we will expect that this day the main idea of this day of Rosh Hashanah, it should be named also the day of New Year, the day of judgment or something like that, but it's not. Why? And I want I think that it's because it calls shofar sound, you say? How say in English the shofar sound? Sounding. That is the definition in Torah. Shofar sounding, Yom Teruah. It's the idea of shofar sounding more, the deeper, more it's more deep than to say Rosh Hashanah or Day of Judgment. And we'll start to try to understand what's so deep in shofar sounding. Okay, sounding, so what? Blowing shofar, big deal. Why? What is so important? In order to explain you this idea, I have to tell you some story that happened to me about 60 years ago, 57 years ago. I was a little boy, 10 years old, in Russia, communist country. That one day, my friend of mine, another boy, came to me and said to me, but secret, it's great secret, and don't tell it to nobody. It's a terrible secret. So my older brother, he says, he create radio I don't know how to say it in English, that you not just you hear radio, but you can say something in radio that somebody else hear. Transmitter, right? A radio transmitter. And in Russia, it was terrible crime. Terrible. And if somebody will catch you, if you adult, you'll be in gulag, you'll sit in prison. And if you small, if you're a child, your parents will be in prison. And you will be in some house of orphans, and it's terrible crime. Why it's so terrible crime? Because in Russia, they used to say to all the world that we have here democracy. We are open country. Everybody can say what you want. You can go wherever you want. And we in Russia, we knew that it's lie, it's not true. And Jews wanted to go out of Russia, and they didn't let us to go. So we know that it's a lie, but in abroad, in other countries, in UN, they say no, it's freedom. We have freedom, free country, democracy. So and they're afraid that if you have radio transmitter, you can say the truth, and all the world will know it. So it was terrible crime to construct this, to build this thing. So I didn't believe to my friend. He says, "Come to my home, I'll show you." But it's secret. I came to his home. He brought me in some shelter. In this shelter, it was like in movies. They have some shelves with all kind of things, and you move this shelf, and you go in a small room, and all this small room was full of equipment. And and he says, "You see all that? This is a radio transmitter." And I couldn't believe. He switched on, and suddenly it was full of red and green lamps. It was, I saw it, wow. He gave me earphones, I've heard. And I suddenly, he started to switch radios, and I hear people talking different languages and all kind of, wow, it was amazing in Russia. It's like if you can imagine that you can hear something that happened 2,000 years ago or in time of Romans. So it's impossible, but it was true. I was amazed. Wow, 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 wow. And he says, and you see this microphone? You can not just hear what's going on in all the world. You can also say something, and people in abroad, they will hear you. And I imagine, I didn't understand yet there, but I imagine that it happened in other countries, like in Russia. In Russia, when government wanted to talk to you, they they had in all junctions, big junctions in towns, they had some um, speakers. Yes, big, huge speakers, and they make some sound like a ding 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 ding, and people stop working, stop walking, and they hear and they say, now government says that this and that, and now you have to do your this is forbidden, all kind of once and sometimes if government want to say, that was the way. And I imagine to myself that what happened in all the world. They have all like speakers in all the world, and now if you press the button and you will say something, all the world, they will stop walking, stop working, and they will hear what I will say to the earth, to the human beings, to all humanity. And I knew that I have to say something very, very important. But what? So I thought maybe I will say that in the beginning I thought to say some cursing, no, but after I understood it's too serious for that, so I thought I have to say the truth. That what the truth? That there is no democracy. Nobody. It's dictator and it's terrible regime. It's tyranny as Russian communists. All that. They don't let Jews go out. But from other hand, if they will capture me, they will put my parents in prison, isn't it? So I have to say in such way that they won't understand, but people what they do will understand. All kind of. I say okay. I decided I will like sacrifice myself for this great idea. And I said to my friend, open microphone. I will tell to the world some my words. And he opened, and I stand and suddenly I was afraid. I like a tuk 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 like a tuk to him like and he said, talk, you should talk. You're already on air. You are talk. And I say, ladies and gentlemen, I am here. And that's it. And they will and try run away. I thought that they will understand that if I am here, then they will understand that. But think today, if you have this opportunity to say something that all the world will hear you, what would you say? You understand it's not so simple that you have just few seconds to say that, because otherwise they can hear you and they can come KGB and this and that. You have few seconds. What would you say? And and then I realized something that until today I live with this feeling that in real, deep, important things we are speechless. If you want to say something real, deep, something from your soul, there is no way that you can express that. Think this situation. If someone, his house burned, fire suddenly, and he took all his children, all his everything, and his wife, everything that he needs, and they run away from the home. And suddenly, wife yelling and say, "But our small daughter, she's still there, and you want to go back to save her." And nobody, and the police and the fireplace, they don't let you. They don't let you go because you will die. And you say, "But my daughter's there." No, no, no. And suddenly you see someone jumped beyond all barriers, and he ran to this home, and he take your daughter, and he went out. That he's like already how say ball without because of fire, and he give you your daughter. What you will say him? Thank you very much. You great guy. What you can say him? I'll pay you. What you can say to this situation? You have nothing more to say. There are situations, there are very real, deep things. We have no words to say. And that is idea what it's written about Moshe Rabbeinu. We say stop until there are things that you cannot express. You cannot talk. And in my opinion, this is idea of Shofar. When you are full of feelings, ideas, that you understand that there is something beyond all that, all reality, all wealth, all your words, and all above everything. What you can say? You have nothing more to say. You have just it's like a screaming, yelling. It's like something. Wow! No, you're right. You understand? And that's what I brought Shofar here to say what you can say. It's different than to say some words. And we say in this day, in Elul, Amelech Besadeh, Amelech Besadeh, king in the field. Every year, a king sit in his palace, in castle, and in Elul, he get out of castle and he comes to us, to field, and people can get him. This is Elul, idea of Elul. Okay, so now you see the king, and you come to him. What would you say?
much time does he have?
Pardon?
How much time does he have?
How much? What you can say? Think about real, prime minister. You have few minutes. We are on your side. You will say some banal things. You say shtuyot, stupid things. Think about what would you say to prime minister or to president? You say, and there is a verse in Tehillim. Tzama lecha nafshi, kama lecha b'sari. My soul is yawning to house in English. Tzama. I'm thirsty. It's okay. My soul is thirsty to you, and my flesh, b'sari, is I don't know. Commonly, it's like yeah, maybe yawning. You say that you yawning to you. And there is a song that Chabad, Rabbi Chabad, he sings this song, and I suggest you to hear the song. It's very strong. To see this old rabbi and great tzaddik, great scholar, and he sings this song. It's like this. Maybe you probably heard this song. If you want, you can participate. Tzama lecha nafshi, oy kama lecha b'sari. Be'etzia ve'ayev b'li mayim. You've heard the song once? In the sense, it's not just say thank you very much. I love you. It's something else. This is the idea of Shofar. And Chazal says in Gemara, in Rosh Hashanah, in Masechet Rosh Hashanah, they say that when we blow in Shofar, it should be crying, weeping. You say weeping. It should be weeping. We don't understand that. Today we blow in Shofar like this. But Chazal said that it should be weeping. And I think that we should change the way how we blow in Shofar. It should be like this. It's something else.
Very strong.
Yeah. And when I understood that, I thought that Well, but it's difficult to go against the tradition because all the world in all the place Jews blow in different way. They blow like I told before, two, 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 two. But Chazal said that it should be crying. So I went to one of the biggest rabbi that live today. His name Rabbi Victor Nevensad. He is a rabbi of old city in Jerusalem, in Jerusalem, Rova Yehudit. And I ask him all these questions, and I explain him this, and he says, yes, of course, we should do in this way. So I ask him, Rabbi, can I blow? And he will say it's okay or not. He says, yes, of course. And I blow in this way, like you should heard. He says, this is wonderful. This is the way. That's how we do. And today, I'm rabbi of some shul in Jerusalem, in a shul called Ismach Moshe, in Mishkanot Sha'ananim. And in Rosh Hashanah, last year, I explained them this idea. And all Tkiyot, Rosh Hashanah, I did in this way. And it was something different, it was something else. They feel it. And another place, Chazal said that our blowing, our shofar blowing, it should be look like as an animal. It's like I'm not sure. Animal in English, it's like a behemoth, something. I don't know. Chaya. How you say animal? It's chaya. Animal. Okay. And wild animal.
It's a behemoth. Beast.
Beast.
Behemoth is beast. Chaya, I think is more animal.
Uh-huh. So it should be like an animal. It should be like or a goha, it's a mooning, or whale. Whale, say Wail.
Whale.
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 You say whale.
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 Kind of like the animal, like the
Whale.
the animal whale is pronounced.
That's how it should be. It's something that. Why it's so important that it will be like this? Because it comes from your inner part of your soul, from something that it's not from brain, from your understanding, and something from depth, and that's how it should sound. Start to come.
Hear the call. Want to know if everything okay in here?
Zoom. Yeah, this is the idea of shofar. And also, it's it's written in Tehillim, Zivchei Troah. Zivchei Troah, it's something that we have we say every day today in time of Lifnei Sukkot, and including in these days, we say, V'ata yarom roshi al rivai tzivotay ve'ezbecha be'olei be'ohalo zivchei troah. Zivchei troah, you can say, troah, it's blowing shofar, sound of shofar, and zivchei, zevach, it's sacrifice. You sacrifice?
It's sacrifice or
Sacrifice
offering. It's really
or
offering.
offering. It's like a korbanot. It's like as you offering this thing. You understand? It's not something that just sound. It's way of your sacrifice. And this is the idea. But it's not only your emotions, because it's written that Ashrei Ha'am Yodei Torah. We glory our nation that knows this shofar blowing. Not just feel or just hear, but know. In Hebrew, knowledge, to know something, it's understanding. It's also it's understand. So what's the understand, And I'll tell you, all the world, our world that we live, is divided in four dimensions. Not always we think about, but we should know that our world has four dimensions. Think about. There is four basic things in there, and for basic matters: water, air, fire, and earth. And also we have four sides of a world, like south, and north, west, and east. And also we have Domem Tzomea Chai Medaber. I don't know how to say Domem Tzomea Chai Medaber. It's like plants and animals, man, and elements, four elements, and earth. And if you remember, it's written in Genesis that when Hashem create the paradise, there were a river in paradise that went out of river with four small rivers. Streams. Four streams. And why all those? Because in our world are four spiritual levels. It calls Atzilut, Bria, Yitzhira, Vaisiya. Like something. It's difficult to translate, but you should know. Abia. It are four levels. And why still all those four levels? Because this is the name of Hashem. Yud K Vav K. It's been from four levels. 4 letters it consists. What it means that we live in this world, we live in name of Hashem. This is the idea. Hashem doesn't hide himself in some spiritual world or in some heaven or in clouds. It's everything, and we part of this everything. And that's what we try to say by four ways of, voices of shofar. Tkiya, shvarim, tru'a, tkiya gdola. It's also four levels. This is the idea of shofar. We include in those four ways of voices of shofar. And I think, I know I'll tell you something in another thing in the end. It's all the time it was in, but you hear, oh, it's good. But I'll tell you something in last thing. You know, when it was Big Bang, in science, when they describe Big Bang, they say it was small, some very, very tiny, something point, singular point it calls, and it start to, how in English, disperse, and that's the way how it look like in science. Oops, just a moment. That's how they describe Big Bang. It start to disperse, and here all galaxies, all the universe, all cosmos is full of galaxies, the billiards of galaxies, but they, all them, in this way, it's look like shofar. And you should know that in astronomy there are two ways how you investigate, how you discover, how you investigate things that happen in space. It's by vision. It's today it's like a telescope that calls James Webb, and also by hearing things that happen in the cosmos. It calls echocosmism. There is a way of how you, and they pay attention that in all cosmos there is some sound, and they didn't know what this sound is. And one Jewish scientist, his name, I'll tell you just a moment, Arno Elan Penzias, Jewish scientist, he understood that this is the sound of Big Bang. The waves of Big Bang, they didn't disappear. They still exist, and they still disperse in the cosmos. And he got Nobel Prize for his discovering. You can look for later about this thing, and you should know. This is shofar. This shofar is all our world, all reality. This is Hashem's shofar, and that's what it says. It says, "Tzama lecha nafshi." Something that it's impossible to express. This is the idea of shofar. Shana Tova.